So what took place, at least what was your scope of seeing everything play out this morning when it came to the hoax calls,
Yeah,
specifically in Grand County?
yeah. So I had already seen on through media outlets that there was this swatting slash hoax incident occurring in other jurisdictions, and about that time, it was just prior to 11:30. I actually received a call that we had been a victim of that as well. We actually received a call through an administrative line at the PD in Moab that our schools were potentially being affected by an active shooter. Our schools were immediately placed on lockdown, and we had a really collaborative joint response with the Grand County Sheriff's Office and other responding agencies such as national parks, the Utah Highway Patrol. They all responded and were able to clear all of our local schools and make sure that it was safe. And as we would in any incident, obviously we we did have some information that was potentially a hoax or a swatting up front. But we always respond as if it's the real deal. We can't get complacent in this profession. And I'm just proud of the partnership we have with our local law enforcement community and our department to get there as quickly as they possibly could.
How does this impact a department like yours when you're responding to something like this? And obviously you've seen everything else that it may be a hoax, but how does that impact what you're doing when you're responding to this call?
I mean, honestly, it doesn't impact a small agency any different than it does a large agency. It's a huge resource drain because of the significance of it. Obviously, it's our primary duty as police chiefs and law enforcement officers to keep our community safe. And when you hear that there's potential danger in a school, that is really one of our worst nightmares. And so, especially not only as a police chief, but as a parent. And so, it's a huge resource drain, but it should bring confidence to the community because here in Utah we are prepared to respond to critical incidents. We train for that response, and we don't. Our uniforms may be different, but we have a common goal. We know if there's an incident like that, there's no question about it. We're going to respond to these schools, and we're gonna eliminate those threats if they exist.
Were your kids impacted by this?
They were, yeah, yeah. They're shaken up, and that's another consequence of this, right? We can't lose sight of the fact that not only our children, but the faculty at these schools, they get shaken up, whether it's a hoax or it's a real thing. We know that it can happen anywhere. It happened recently, and it's highly publicized that it's happened in many jurisdictions, and that's why we prepare. But also, we need to realize that it is a huge mental drain on our kids and on that staff. And I hope that the resources are available for them to get the help they need because it can have lasting effects on everybody involved.
After the events that unfolded earlier this week in Nashville, and so much comes out of something like that, from mental health to swift action from law enforcement to children dying to staff members dying, and then we get this hoax call. Did you have any conversation with your department after the Nashville incident, or did that bring more awareness once again to what you guys need to be doing and be ready for? I know it's probably something you're always training for.
Yeah, we haven't had a specific conversation about Nashville, but we are constantly talking about our response and training for our response. That is the challenge of every law enforcement agency. We have so many hours of work time that we're obligated to, but we have to train for the worst case scenario. It's no different. We train for it. We've trained for it once this year already, or over the course of the last year for active shooter response, and we actually have it on our calendar to do it again here really soon. And so that's not coincidental. It's just because we know that it can happen anywhere. The tactics remain the same, whether it's a school or a hospital or a house. And so it's just something, unfortunately, we have to prepare for. But we want our community to know that we are prepared for it and we will respond appropriately if an incident does occur.
Was this a little extra difficult for you because you weren't there today? I mean, as chief, but also as dad, I mean, for something like this?
Obviously, first of all, as the chief, most of the chiefs are actually out of their jurisdictions right now because we're at a training for our police chiefs in our state, and so it is difficult because you want to be there, but also I have the utmost confidence in my staff and the leadership that was there, and again, a great partnership with. I mean, I have to give credit, Sheriff Wiggins from the Grand County Sheriff, new sheriff, but he was there with his staff. And that's the great thing about a small communities. We have these great, excellent partnerships, great working relationships, and we know that the job is going to get done. And as a parent, it's always hard when you're not there. But that's that's why parenting is typically a two-person job, and I have a good support system there that to make sure that my kids were taken care of. And obviously, that's again, the impacts are long, they are long lasting. And as a parent, I know that I have to continue to have conversations with my children about why police respond and what to do. And it's unfortunate that that's the day and age we live in, but that's all we can do is be prepared and have good, frank conversations.
Well, thanks for all you do and for what you've done in your career as well. I know it spans well beyond the city of Moab, of course, but is there anything else from something like this that you think the public should know, hearing from somebody in your seat, in your role in law enforcement?
No, I think, just speaking for law enforcement in general and having worked for a state agency for many, many years, law enforcement in our state they are tremendous. And I only talk about this because I'm here with a lot of excellent, outstanding law enforcement professionals and leaders that I've known for many years. And I know we all feel the same. We have to continue to train and keep our community safe. It also does bring to the forefront the importance of threat assessment. And it's something that law enforcement is taking, I think, a lot more seriously nowadays. And we have to continue to focus our energy on threat assessment, and then how we not only we prevent, we mitigate, and we respond to all public safety threats. But we're well equipped in the state of Utah. We have great leaders. We have committed professional police officers throughout this state, and I'm proud to be a part of this profession.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.